Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Mike. Hope you're doing great and having a wonderful day. So today's video is going to be something that JJ put out. She put out, well, it'll be a few days ago when this post, but it's just a video discussion. And like my previous video I put out, I was just trying to start a conversation, make a discussion. And I'll link JJ's video in the description here. But she has... So this whole conversation, she was talking about how, the idea that, say, if you've read these books, Fahrenheit 451 or 1984 by George Orwell, about how people risk their lives in the pursuit to keep art alive and books and literature alive. And then she was asking, like, what are 5 books that you would save, that only you were the carrier of, that if it wasn't for you, these 5 books would disappear forever? And that's hard, JJ. That is a tough one. I mean, all of us would have 100 books, but I'm going to stick to 5. I'm not going to do any honorable mentions, just 5. So she put it like, they could be your favorites, or just a book that's teaching something of a universal language. Love, peace, joy, struggle, whatever. I thought quite a long time on these answers, but now, granted, I have one I haven't read at all, and another one I've read about halfway. But I'm going to explain why I gave each of these as my 5 books that I would save. Whether not that you have to memorize them. She said, it's not like Fahrenheit 451 where they literally memorized whatever and they were the book. No, if you could just like physically save these books. So I've got 2 classics and then a few other ones. So we'll start with this. So the first one I would save is The Count of Monte Cristo. I just love this book. I think this is probably my favorite book of all time ever. I'm going to actually reread it this year, 2026. So this is number 1. Second one, now I have not read this. It is also on my to read this year, but it's a classic, and I'm assuming everybody in the world knows this book, Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Just from what I know of this book from over the years, hearing it, I've read some stuff about it and everything. I would, just for that reason, save this book, because I think it teaches so much and gives so many different examples and just life things in general. And so, but I haven't read it, so I can't go too deep into it. But that's my second one. Third one is a poetry. This is a little bit personal, poetry, and I got this. This is my complete poetry and selected prose and letters of Walt Whitman. I have a few more copies of this. I should have grabbed a better appealing one, but this is probably my favorite one of all of them. I would save this. The reason I would save this specifically, it's Whitman was an American poet. I live in America, so obviously I'm gonna probably gravitate towards American poets, maybe. But if I had to just pick one, it'd be this one, because if you never read any of Walt Whitman, I would highly suggest it. Now, I don't like all of his poetry, and I don't like all of his prose, but a lot of it I do. So that's my third one. Let me move my stuff here. So the next one is The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, and that might be kind of an odd one, but I kind of am a firm believer of that old saying of, if you don't know your past, you're bound to repeat it. I haven't read all of this. I've probably read half of it, but I think this is very important. Not to glorify what happened in the Third Reich or anything like that, but just to know what did happen. Because, again, if every book in the world is getting disappeared, going away, and they're erasing everything, well, my assumption is they're erasing history too, so we're not going to know. So this is a universal book with a universal language, like she said, of what not to do, what to learn from, so you don't ever repeat it. So that's my fourth one. Last one is Grimm's Fairy Tales. And this is an old one I got a long time ago. It's a big fat book. I think this is a Barnes & Noble edition. But Grimm's Fairy Tales. Because people have had fairy tales and oral traditions since, you know, the beginning. And you want to have something to just have fun with, tell your kids, read about. And that's why I chose this one, because these are priceless and timeless. And, you know, Grimm's have been going for, I don't know when 1812. You know, it's going to be 4012 and Grimm's will still be around. You know, so that's my answers on that. So I hope I did this justice, JJ. I hope the video was good and these answers were okay, but that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.